Good afternoon, everyone. This will be my uh, lecture on Cyber Security 101, which is the basic awareness on cyber security. I hope you are able to see my screen and I am audible as well. So let me go through the today's agenda. It will be on a evaluation of cyber attacks. So we'll see how cyber attacks evaluated in last 3 decades. We'll see the challenges and we see how are the solutions available in the market. So this is the high level agenda. This is the my company profile. It is a founded in 2017 SaaS-based cybersecurity solution company, which is providing the multi-security architecture to Generation 5 advanced threat prevention. We'll see in details. This is high level my profile. It is also on LinkedIn. You can see as well. And my expertise into cybersecurity, next gen technology solution, and strategic partnership program management. So let's start with the cybersecurity. So what is the evaluation of cybersecurity? So we all know how cybersecurity is and what are the cyber attacks. So first attack was prepared or was happened in the year of 1990, which we called as a generation first attack, which is the virus attack made through the floppy to the hard drive or the pen to the laptop, and it is called as the evaluation generation first attack. And for that, we developed the antivirus protection to reduce those attacks. In 2000, there are some kind of multi-level networking attacks happened. So industry developed a firewall to prevent those kind of attacks. So it is a kind of a generation 2 attacks. We know that Y2K attacks and these kind of a buzzword. Next, in 2010, there is a third generation attack, which is the application-based attack, where application hackers target your application, the system, the Windows, these kind of applications to attack and to get to threat on the prevention side. So we started to use the intrusion prevention solutions, which is the third generation attack, which is the quite famous till now. Recently in 2015, there is a fourth generation attack was started, which we called as a Trojan horse or the chatbots, these kind of attack, which are based on the behavioral side. So they study your overall behavior and then they try to hack your system. So Trojan horse is one of the common, chatbot is the thing. We see many of the Amazon links on the WhatsApp. So these are these kind of attacks. And now in 2021, post-COVID, hackers are kind of develop their system on a multi-vector attacks. So multi-vector attacks is like they are attacking on the different verticals or different vectors where we are using. So like they are also attacking on our mobile, they are also attacking on our laptop, not only on mobile and laptop, they can attack on your CCTV cameras, your all the IoT devices and everything. So attack is happened on overall system, and it is attacked on the multiple places. So you don't know where to prevent or where do we need to secure those kind of things. So this is for that the industry is generating a multi-vector prevention system. So this is the overall generation of attacks here. As you can see here, currently most of the enterprises or the industries are using generation 3 solutions, so which are the our antivirus, quick kill, or any you can name it. Those are only kind of giving you the generation 3 solution, not the Trojan horse or not the chatbots or not even the multi-vector attacks. So we are using the antivirus which are only preventing a generation 3rd attack, but not for this, not ready for the 5th generation attack. So this is what we are right now. We are into new world. There are new challenges as well. So business data is everywhere. We are using our data. We are using WhatsApp. We are using everything on our mobile. We are using through our laptop. Even we are using through our iPad or other stuffs as well. So our data is everywhere. Either it is a business data or either it is a personal data. So it is everywhere, and everywhere they can use. We are using those data remotely as well. So it is a more likely to hack other system than your overall. Just a minute, someone is waiting in the room. And also there is a generation 5 attacks which we discussed. There are multi-vector attacks also there. So how can we tackle for that? So it is a kind of a wider place where there is an attack can be happen. We all know the biological pandemic, right? So it is kind of a COVID scenarios. We all know how the infection rate happened, how we are preventing for that, and what are the things which we need to do. So on our left side, you can see the infection rate like COVID. Here is the COVID. So how we are doing this? So we are quarantine ourselves. We are doing the isolation kind of a thing. We are doing the contact tracing, how the virus was spread kind of a thing. And what are the things which we are doing? We are doing the safety measures, like we are using mask, we are hygiening, we are doing the sanitize our hand on other devices. And the last thing is we are preventing we are doing the social distancing. So similarly, there is a like a biological thing, there is a cyber pandemic is also happened in the same rate, where infection rate is like there are few viruses which are attacked on our devices, and those are like every 8 seconds there is one of the attacks. So those are the kind of things which are happening right now, and to the industry level as well as the personal level. So those are the infection, how we are doing this kind of a thing. So we are doing the sandboxing. Like what we are doing is, if the attack happened, we are doing sandboxing those files where there is attack, and we quarantine those files to some other place, and we do the treatment to that. So this is called as a sandboxing or the micro segmentation for that. How do we isolate ourselves? There is a word called zero trust. Zero trust is like we don't trust anything, means even we are providing our mobile to our friend or anyone, we don't trust that whether he or she can use, or he and she can add malware or spamware to our mobile or our other devices. So don't trust anything or any software, any application that it is saying that it allows the give you the other feedbacks or other application, but don't trust anything. Read all the privacy policy and everything before you are accepting anything. So this is how the cyber pandemic is happening. And last one is the tracing. So how do we trace all these kind of things, from where the attack is generated? So for that there are threat intel. So there is a global database called threat intel, where each and every second the attacks, whatever the attack, there is all the data is stored, and the antivirus or the patches are developed. So we are having that kind of a trace intel, and we are providing those intels to our customers and or the antivirus companies or the cybersecurity companies. There is a SOC. SOC is called for Security Operations Center. So enterprises like government enterprises, they are having their own SOC, the Security Operations Center, where all the data is stored there, and they do all the analysis if the attack happened, and they do all this kind of thing. And posture management is like a more like a command center, where we can see how many devices are connected, if there is any attack or if anything kind of a thing. So this is kind of a infection prevention in cyber pandemic. And this is the most important thing which we can do is the safety best practice. So what we can do is, from the awareness side, think before click. We know WhatsApp, there are lots of message like Amazon free gifts and these kind of thing. But before clicking on those kind of a link, we need to think again that whether it is a spamware or it is any kind of a hacker kind of a thing. So this is the one thing which we can do, is think before we can click. Second thing is cyber hygiene, patches and compliance. We need to update all the patches, and we need to follow the compliances. patches in like terms like security update or the software OS update, operation shifting, or the any app update. We need to do all this kind of up to date, so that if there is any kind of attacks or anything, it will be give you the upgrade, and it will be prevent from that kind of attack. And the last thing is like social distancing. We need to do the network segmentation, multi-factor authentication. So network segmentation is more like a use into in industry area, where multiple network can be segregated to other small groups, and it can be secured. And the multi-factor authentication, we know that we on our WhatsApp there are multi-factor authentication, where we can use the fingerprint or the password, as well as there is another level of authentication is also there. So we need to follow these kind of things to prevent our data and to avoid the cyber attacks on a personal as well as the organizational level. So let's see. So there are top 5 phenomenal cyber crime in last couple of years. What are the things? One is this cyber crime. So cyber crime is now become organized. So as you can heard, many of the attacks are now sponsored by the country, like Russian hackers attack to US pipeline gas, or Chinese hackers attack to the American any of the network, these kind of things. So they are now organized, they work as a team, and they work, they're sponsored by the country, so that they cannot get caught, kind of a thing. So this is where the cyber crime is happening. So they are organized. Cloud security risk is involved. So everything is now we are moving to cloud, kind of a thing. We are moving from on-premise database to cloud security. So cloud security is a paramount right now. Anything related to any of the application, we can see whether it is a Paytm, whether it is a Zomato, or any of the application, the data is stored on the cloud, whether it is a Amazon, whether it is Azure, or any other Google Cloud. But the security is there. So we need to define what are the security risk and who is the responsible for that. Okay. So that is another part where we need to focus on is the cloud security. Third is the ransomware on the rise. So ransomware attacks are there, like someone is attacked on your email, you click on that link, and that person, that hacker got the access of your computer, and then computer or laptop or mobile, and then you got a one mail that now this is the thing, you need to pay X amount to me, or else I will delete your data or anything. So ransomware attacks are there, and there are many attacks. Even there are attacks from minimum like 20,000 rupees to multi-million dollars kind of attacks. Ransomware attacks are there. Recently in Maharashtra, there were 3 attacks. One is into PCMC data center, where they asked for 5 crore rupees as a ransomware. Another attack on our Maharashtra State Electricity Department, where they asked for 10 crore rupees as a ransomware. And the last attack on our MIDC server, Maharashtra MIDC server, where they asked for 500 crore rupees to release the data and everything. So these kind of attacks are happening. So we need to prepare for that as well. Next is the mobile malware increase. So we know there are many malwares are there. Android is most vulnerable device, where there are many applications which are not even on a Play Store, but can be installed on your mobile. So we need to see which are the files we are installing. If it is installed, what are the privacy they are taking care of, whether they are using our microphone, whether they are using our mobile camera, or any other location or any other things. We need to every time we need to check on a frequent basis, like which of the application is taking the your kind of a thing. And last one, which we are discussed, the 5G is coming and the IoT attacks. So I'll just give you the example of the IoT attacks. So in London, there is a one hospital, hacker attack on that hospital, and they shut down all the appliances which are connected to that network. So they connected the ECG machine, they connected the ventilators, everything was under attack, and they control all these kind of solutions. So that hospital paid handsome money as a ransom to those hackers. After that only they release all these kind of things. So these are the things are happening, and we need to focus on that kind of things as well. This is the overall overview of cyber crime in the world. And yes, to if you are anyone is interested to do the career in this cyber security field, this is the trends you need to follow so that you can prevent and you can give the expertise in that kind of things. Next slide is kind of an industry analysis, how world is going after COVID in terms of cyber attacks. So Forbes magazine, the only matter of the time is the largest cyber attack in the history flashes across your screen. So anyone can use it in any of the corner of the world and can attack on any of the devices which is connected to the internet. So this is how it is. So we discuss about world, we discuss about challenges, but what are the opportunities? Yes, so the world is moving from work from on office to work from home. They are using multiple devices to access the corporate data, and we are using multiple applications as well. So what are the challenges? We are also saying cyber pandemic is there, ransomware attacks are also there, phishing attacks are also there, botnet, the chat bot, and all these kind of bots are there to get the steal your information and sold those data to dark web. Dark web is the overall concept which is used by the hackers. They store all these kind of a data to their on that premises, and anyone can access there and get those data. They can buy those data. So this is the thing. And what are the opportunities? So I'll just quickly go to next slide for to discuss on these opportunities. So you can see we can work from home, we can work from on the go where we can while traveling, or else we can work from office. But so these are the things which are involved in these kind of a thing. So we are using websites to access those things. We are using SaaS based applications. We are using cloud. We are using in-house data center. We are using remote desktop access, and we are using company intranet. So all these are connected through all these three vectors. So how do we target this and how we can prevent this? These are the solutions which are available in the market to address all these solutions and to control all these. So first is the endpoint security. Mainly we are calling it as an antivirus. We have to choose which are the top antivirus in the endpoint solutions in the market, and we have to use those. And we know not only use the detection of the antivirus, but we can use the prevention of the antivirus so that the attack won't happen on your kind of a thing. So either it is on your laptop, either it is on your mobile, or either it is on your company network. Secondly is the clientless connectivity. So we called as a SASE, which is the clientless connectivity, and there is a secured connection between all these devices. VPN, we heard about VPN, but VPN remote access, we need to use these kind of a secured VPN so that it can be prevent all kind of attacks. Secured email, yes, there are multiple attacks on an enterprise level or even on a personal level. Those attacks are happened from the email. Source of the attack is the email. So many of the time you can see there is a email like pushkar.joshi@gmail.com, but most of the time the hacker used Pushkar, he removed dot and he just used the new mail ID like pushkarjoshi@gmail.com, and you can get the email from, you think that the mail is came from the Pushkar, so it will be secured, and you click on that link and bang, your laptop or either whatever the device you are using, it get kind of attacked or it get hacked kind of a thing. So secure email is also one of the solutions which are currently trending in the market. Then secure internet browsing, there are kind of sites which is using HTTP and HTTPS. So those are the secure browser. There are secured login as well, means through the website. So we need some kind of a solution which can be provide the secure internet browsing as well. It can be secure all the data or all the application or login windows before we are providing any information. So that is the another thing. And last one is the secured mobile phone. So I'll talk more about this mobile phone because we all know we are using this kind of solution. So mobile, we are 24/7 connected to mobile. Our data is continuously connected, and most of the time when we are sleeping, almost 6 to 8 hours, our mobile phone is connected to the world, but we are not even checking it on, means we are not even checking it. So at any point of time, 6 to 8 hours in a day, our mobile is vulnerable to enter into any of the hacking kind of a thing. And if you are using your corporate email on that mobile, it is a best place for hacker to hack the system, hack into the company accounts through these kind of a mobiles, where you are using your personal mobile, they hack your personal mobile, they use your corporate data, and through that corporate data they enter into company intranet or company remote server or company data center or company cloud as well. So this is the mobile is the most vulnerable device right now. And if we are thinking that Apple is more secure than Android, so no device is secured. Every device is hackable, and it can be hacked by any of the hacker. The only thing is it is best the hacking or the applications or the spamware are developed based on the number of devices. And though Android are more in terms of number in terms of Apple, so there are more attacks on Android mobile than Apple. But yes, Apple mobile are also hackable, and it can be hacked easily. Means if they wanted to, it can be hacked easily. And we all heard about the word Pegasus in the last couple of months. That is also one of the top anti-hack spamware, which was developed by the Israeli company called SFO, and it is used for anti-terrorist activities, means controlling the anti-terrorist, hacking the terrorist mobile, and then they can know what are the things are happening at there. So that particular virus was entered through mobile only. And how it is entered, it just give you the WhatsApp missed call. It is not even call, means you don't even need to answer that call. It is just a single missed call, and the virus is entered in your mobile. So you need to see what are the antivirus or endpoint solution or the mobile security you are using. Those security need to identify these kind of threats, and not only detect but also prevent. So this is how the overall scenario in the world. I hope that is the high level understanding is sufficient. If you have any questions, you can ask, or else I can go to my last, which is the thank you slide. Any questions or any doubts or anything related to cyber security?
Yeah, Pushkar sir.
Yes, hi.
Yeah. Is it possible to like hack military websites and all, also like take control of nukes or bombs and all that?
So as I said, anything can be possible, means anything can be hackable. That's why military are using their in-house data center. In-house everything is under their premise only, and they or not only the means not only it can be not, means there is no connection to outer world, means whatever the secured data like Indian Air Force or any defense site, there is a controlled data center is developed by the defense solution, and there is a vacuum bubble in between. That means not only the data center is secured by the next gen security firewalls and everything, but also there is a vacuum bubble which not even enter any of the network or the internet connectivity between the particular building to that data center. So there is a data center. Out of that, there is a vacuum bubble, which can be prevent all the network, internet, and mobile kind of a phones. And after that, there is a wall. So this is how the defense system is working in terms of the security. So that's why it is really hard to hack those kind of a things. But yes, if someone can enter into that premises with the network device or any of the kind of a thing, it can be possible to hack those kind of a devices as well.
Okay.
So architecture is designed in the way that you cannot enter in their data center without any of the internet connectivity or any USB or any of the electronic device. So that is called as a vacuum bubble in between data center, means all the data, and our offices, we can say offices. And it is the same practice is following by each and every country in the world.
So we are safe for now, right?
Yes. Every what we can say defense thing or every national security is secured by it is secured, and it can be taken care by the government. And there are experts who are working 24/7 to secure all these kind of things. And also, even after that, there are attacks happen, and those are the attack called cyber attacks. Means country sponsor cyber attack, like China attack to US or Russia attacks to US kind of a thing. And those are, means in that case, they use all kind of a tactics to enter into those devices. So there are many other things, but yes, those